Good evening and welcome to the season premiere of Ames Tonight, the ISUtv entertainment and satirical comedy show at Iowa State University. I am your co-host, Andreas Haffar.
Hi, I'm your co-host, Richard Martinez. Thank you for joining us. It's good to be back and going here in Studio 171. We got a jam-packed show for you this evening, so thanks for tuning in. So Andreas, how was your break?
You know, it feels like it was months ago, quite literally months ago.
Indeed it was.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, so much has gone on since we've been gone. Iowa State has a total enrollment of 36,001 and 1 students. I mean, good luck finding a place to live. Let's be real. America and Cuba are best friends again. Do you see that? That's cool. Mars has water, or has had water on it, and planet Earth, believe this, allegedly shouted over to Mars, Mars, run for your life, save yourself. Because why wouldn't it? Americans got all hot and bothered by some old flag. I don't know if you heard about that one either. Many Syrian refugees are left homeless. The Supreme Court ruled that if we wanted to get married, Richard, we totally could.
Oh dear.
But I want to talk about a certain individual tonight. I can think of no better person to discuss on our season premiere than this one.
Oh yeah, of course, Donald Trump, you mean, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, no one cares about him. That shock talker of American media gets enough coverage. He's on minute 14 of minute 15 of undeserved, overhyped political fame. Now I'm talking about the Buenos Aires-born Pope Francis, as if posing for selfies wasn't cool enough. He is as modern as ever and reforming the church while simultaneously appealing to the masses. Mr. Pope has turned the Pope-mobile into a Ford Focus, because who wouldn't? He's auctioned his bike to help the poor. He's in favor of the protection of the Amazon rainforest. He leaves the Vatican at night to be with the homeless. He wants to get rid of execution. He's even said that the church shouldn't interfere with the life of homosexual people, and he's made it clear that atheists can be great people too. I mean, what a guy.
What a guy.
Recently, the Pope has made a trip around the United States in an unprecedented tour, and my new best friend visited New York, Washington, D.C., and ever made his presence felt at the United States General Assembly, fighting to preserve the economy and human rights. But when he told politicians to act rather than talk, that, ladies and gentlemen, stole my heart.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, the Pope didn't even swing by Iowa State. Is he a friggin' Hawks fan? Nah. You know what? I like to think better of that than Pope Francis. I mean, but what's with the snub? Okay, get this. Donald Trump came to Iowa State and went tailgating. His sign got ripped up. Go figure. The self-proclaimed God in the free speech zone, he was around. He was received poorly with his choice of words above all things. And you know why this happened? Because Pope Francis didn't come visit Iowa State. They're saying, you're not the one we want to see. Give us the Pope, damn it. Francis. You know, I had my Italian hat, my Italian flag, my Pope hat, my, Francis 2K15 t-shirt. All ready. Really disappointing.
Andreas, I apologize, but hey, don't diss on my best friend. In all seriousness, like before Barrio, before him, Pope Francis is a rock star and doing some truly wonderful things. We, the Cyclone Nation, appreciate you. Anyway, don't go anywhere, folks. I'll be right back at your newsstand. You're watching Ames Tonight.
That's the shortest we ever did. That's probably the shortest. It's probably the shortest we've ever done a monologue. I know.
Welcome back to Ames Tonight. I'm McKenzie, Oregon, just like the state.
And I'm Taylor Claybon. This is your news hour where we dish out your hottest campus news from the past week. So let's get started.
Over the last 2 years, British artist Jim Kay has been slaving over a project that will literally change the lives of every well-read boy and girl around the world. The complete re-illustration of the entire Harry Potter series. That's right. Take all of those book covers and chapter headers and forget them, because Kay's work blows them away like Harry's Aunt Marge. He promises that his work will reach into the darker elements of Rowling's writing while maintaining the cheerful atmosphere present in the beginning of the series. After seeing some of his work in other children's stories like Patrick Ness's A Monster Calls, J.K. Rowling's publishers contacted Kay and offered him the 7-year job on the spot. So far, he has the entire first book done and is making progress on the Chamber of Secrets. And I'm sure that literally everyone ever is looking forward to seeing the finished series as much as I am.
After a rumor began that Trump would drop out of the presidential race, Trump vehemently denied his allegation. This rumor started because Trump's lead in the polls has drastically shrunk in the recent weeks. Trump responded by saying, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm leading every poll and going to make our country great again. I'm not getting out. I'm going to win, okay?" I don't even have a joke better than that. He did that one for me. Marco Rubio missed a Senate vote on defense spending today to instead campaign in New Hampshire. Rubio stated that he will do anything possible to be present at any vote where my vote is going to make a difference or an issue of major national significance or importance. This particular vote on the National Defense Authorization Act needs at least 60 votes to advance and is projected to be a very close vote. Rubio said that he is going to miss votes since he's running for president, but affirmed that when I miss a vote, it's not because I'm out playing golf. We're out campaigning for the future of America, where I believe I can make more of a difference as president than as a senator. Rubio currently has the worst voting attendance of any senator in 2015. Once again, the GOP has made the joke for me.
Twitter chief executive Jack Dorsey is officially back. After being fired over a slew of internal complications earlier this year, Dorsey has been reinstated. He's been serving as the Twitter interim CEO since early this summer. Dorsey is now also heading up Square, a payments service he started up after being booted out of Twitter. But now he's back and has that little blue check mark next to his name again, and he's got ideas. There are even rumors going around that Twitter is looking to get rid of the 140-character cutoff, perhaps the most defining characteristic of the social media platform. The biggest challenge that Twitter is facing right now is making itself appealing to newcomers while not annoying social media veterans. Between keeping his original company afloat, running a new digital network through Square, and trying to keep up with being a reincarnated Steve Jobs, Jack Dorsey certainly has his hands full.
Kevin Hart came to Hilton Coliseum Sunday night as part of his What Now tour. Hart began by explaining that he named the tour because he is perpetually asked, "What now?" Indeed, by about 20 minutes into the set, I was asking myself, what now? His jokes were extremely predictable, and I worried that I would no longer find the beloved comedian funny. What was I to possibly do now? I later realized this is probably due to the fact I've watched every one of his stand-ups at least twice. Being unpredictable to someone who can quote all of your shows would be a bit like tornadoes being scary to a Kansan. As a Kansan, I can confirm we just don't care. Although when you live in Kansas, you almost wish something does happen when a tornado comes, as it would be the only excitement in your life since the last time you left Kansas. Hart also had no memorable one-liners I could tweet after the show, which I was eager to do since there was such an emphasis to have no phones or recording devices. The tour contained all new material that Hart didn't want leaked. Nonetheless, Hart did an excellent job and still had me in tears of laughter despite knowing the direction of the jokes. His facial expressions are priceless, and his opening act, the Plastic Cup Boys, were also hilarious. Although in college, things tend to get funnier when you've had anything from a red plastic soda cup.
In honor of the Twilight Saga's 10th anniversary, Stephenie Meyer decided to rewrite the series. Her second time around with the story is almost as bad as the first time. In fact, it's exactly the same except for one part. She switched the genders of her main characters. Meet Beau, a normal teenage boy who falls in love with Edith, a spooky lady vampire. The reworking is called Life and Death, Twilight Reimagined. It has over 400 pages of additional content and still tells a ridiculously impractical story about nonsensical supernatural love. The only good thing to come out of this is the knowledge that Robert Pattinson is probably sitting in a corner, crying over his career decisions and planning his most sarcastic response to Myers News.
A Louisiana woman is being criticized for sharing pictures of her stillborn child on Facebook. Approximately 1 year ago, Rosalind Rocket gave birth to her stillborn son. The child was only 9 ounces but had no deformities. After the memorial ceremony, Rosalind shared some edited pictures of her son, including hands and feet that were in black and white. A year later, on his birthday, Rosalind decided to share some more graphic color photos, including her son's face. The previous day, she had warned her Facebook friends of the pictures, knowing some people would not want to see them. The images have been reported, and Facebook has asked her to take them down or set them to private because of violent material. Let's be clear, the definition of violence is using or involving physical force to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Facebook, please explain to me how childbirth is violent. In fact, to kill is to take a life, and to birth is to give it. Childbirth is the opposite of violence. Many friends of Rosalind are now sharing her pictures to show support.
How would you feel if you got a bill every time you bailed on a party invitation at the last minute? One couple from Minnesota is facing exactly that problem. Jessica and Justin Baker were invited to a not-so-close relative's wedding and were planning to attend. That is until their babysitter canceled on them. They decided it would be better to not go at all than to bring their children to a no-kids wedding. Several days later, the Bakers received an invoice for $75 in the mail and a demand for an explanation for their absence. The Bakers refused to pay the bill and told the bride to kindly stuff it.
Our lovely hosts had quite an adventure when they got back to school. Here's what they found out about our campus.
Well, here we are, Iowa State campus. We're gonna find some hidden gems that, you might not have thought of before. Let's explore this wilderness.
We're on the way to our first monument on campus. Legend has it that there's a lot of rumors about this one. So, what do you think?
There it is. Yeah. Okay, this here is the Stone Ram. Legend has it, former grad student here at Iowa State, but one day she looked at her student loans and her debt, and it was such an astronomical number that she turned to stone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just wait a second here. Here are these contentious cats, primed for battle. Clearly, neither of them want to starve. Look at the eyes, the eyes! And even after yelling at them, they're still not gonna move, and they could pounce at any moment. So let's get out of here. So we're on our way to the MU, the Memorial Union, and we're gonna go to that dreadful Zodiac and figure out the mystery behind it. I'm gonna solve this one once and for all. Let's see what's so bad about walking over this so-called Zodiac, if that is your real name. First, I'm gonna try and study for my human sexuality exam.
What do you mean I'm dropped from the class?
Or how about I stretch out with some yoga moves, bro?
Syphilis? I have syphilis? Is that good?
Or maybe, what if I just bust a move or two on the Zodiac?
Pregnant? How does that even work?
Well, luckily a lot of this can be fixed with a simple coin flip into the fountain right in front of the MU. It's better to do it earlier rather than later, as you might have heard. Oh, great. I'm broke too. Thanks for joining us, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's just go back to the studio. Just go back to the studio. I'm done.
And that's the news, folks.
Stay tuned for Mankle's Minute and some social media gossip. Don't go anywhere.
for still tuning in here. Obviously, we're not paying attention either, but I'm glad you're still here. I'm Taylor Mankle.
And I'm Annie Harmon, the queen of questionable decisions.
All right, guys, we're going to kick off my part of the show with something I like to call Mankle's Minute. And for Mankle's Minute this week, it's a little bit of sassy sports scores. To kick it off, it's the Ravens and the Steelers. Ever sucked so bad you were straight up fired? Well, Josh Scobie did. Way to go, guy. Jets beat the Dolphins. London, England played sight to this Jet-Dolphin game, because if they had in the United States, God knows nobody would have been there. The Colts survived the Jaguars on a last-second field goal. That's the Jaguars. The Jaguars. The Jaguars. Giants against the Bills. Giants managed not to give up another one in the fourth quarter. Congrats on still being the worst little brother, Eli. Panthers, Buccaneers. Let's be honest here. Panthers may be undefeated, but the Buccaneers, man, they suck. Eagles and DC. Eagles lost at DC against a team who remain nameless because it is blatantly racist, and I hate them. But I'll save that for another show. Raiders and Bears. Wow, look at this matchup, everybody. What a powerhouse game. Chicago and Oakland. Oh, wait. This game wouldn't have been good except if we were playing in the 80s. Come on, guys. Texans, Falcons. Falcons ripped the Texans a new one here just to prove that J.J. Watt does not make a whole team. Sorry, guys. And the Bengals beat the Chiefs because, frankly, nobody likes Kansas City. The Chargers almost lost to the Browns before they realized they may be a terrible team, but they aren't. Browns terrible. And 17-3. I am not a Packers fan by any stretch of the imagination, but 17 points on the 49ers, Roger? You better discount, double check that nonsense at the door, my man. 49ers gave up more than that to the Cardinals defense last week. Let's go. Speaking of the Cardinals, what the hell is this? Don't you know St. Louis is a baseball town? Psst. Here's a secret. The Rams are supposed to lose. Peyton Manning may be old as dirt, but that defense of the Broncos is as fiery as Brian Scalabrini's hair. They won this one. Cowboys and Saints. Saints trying their best not to be the Aints anymore, beating the Cowboys, who are missing their best two players. Congrats, Drew Brees. For those of you that thought Cam Chancellor didn't play that big of a role for Seattle, why don't you go and ask the Lions, or better yet, Calvin Johnson. What do you think? Hold on to the ball, bro. That's all I've got for Sassy Sports Scores. I'm out.
Good evening, I'm Annie Harmon, and this is the imaginary Laurel Feeks. Laurel is actually currently at Dustin Lynch right now without me, and heaven knows I wouldn't want Taylor Mankle co-anchoring with me, so I'm gonna run this Han Solo. Also, on a side note, I would love to throw shade at Taylor Swift in Laurel's absence, but I would rather not spend the time and effort in looking her up. So, in honor of Ladies Lounge, I dedicate my solo act to read off some of the funniest tweets of the week from women around the world. Here goes. At Because I'm Jewish says, what if the band was called Panic at the Disco and also the restaurant and my apartment and you know what, pretty much everywhere else? At Moody Monday tweeted, me, Siri, why am I alone? Siri opens front-facing camera. Stylet says, nothing will bring back your spirit like tacos, Channing Tatum's pelvic thrusts, and lemon potatoes, in that order. Miss Dinaire Frances tweets, we replaced the cast of Entourage with 5 vape pens and a pack of Red Bull. Let's see if anyone notices. Love and Lunch Meat says, stop whining, kids. If mommy wants to listen to a bunch of people whining, for no reason, she'll log into Twitter. And lastly, Eliza Soul 80 said, me, I came to Twitter to be creative and express myself. Twitter? LOL, you said came. So thanks for stopping in, folks.
You guys have a great evening.
They took out my ending. They took